Hello, good morning, happy Friday. Uh we're almost done with recording Axum videos, and I'm really excited about that. Sitsu, hello, good morning. How are you doing today? Uh let's see. So it looks like we have the soft delete tasks and creating an account left, which is good. Then we have all of these ones up here. You're updating an ancient PHP site to remove the PHP and use a static generator. That sounds that sounds less like update and just complete rewrite. Uh, I turned off a PHP server yesterday, and it feels really good to be rid of an old PHP thing. So I feel you. Like once that's done, oh man, it feels so good to like just shut off a service and just like have a new one. But yeah, so good luck. Good luck continuing with that. Once it's done, oh man, that's party worthy. I was actually thinking, um, there's the famous scene in Office Space where everybody just hates the printer, and then when they replace the printer or it dies or whatever, they take it out back, and then they just beat it with baseball bats. So I was asking one of the people that know how to create VR sort of like things at my company if can they create a like that scene? Can they like let us put our server in the app, and then we could use like VR chat or something, and then we just go in and beat it with baseball bats. And her response was, "Would you also like to light it on fire? Because we could do that." And I'm like, "Yeah, I think that would be good." I think that could also be just like a source of cathartic energy, draining for us devs after we turn off servers. Maybe we could just put bugs in there and squash them literally. All right, where are we today? We are on soft deleting a task. Okay, so we got two videos left, and then we have some other videos sort of at the beginning here. Uh, we'll see about that. But I think we're gonna jump directly into recording these so I can get these done. I haven't been rendering and uploading the videos, so I'm pretty far behind now. I've got all of these that we've recorded that are not up. Okay, I did these. Yeah, these are just the tasks for that. Okay. Um, yeah. So I'm a little bit behind, but it'll be fine. Maybe this weekend I'll have time for it. Maybe probably next week. Okay, so let's jump into recording and work on soft deleting a task. Welcome back to the To Do Solution Project. We're looks like we've got two things left. This one we're going to be working on in this video is soft deleting a task. Um, and soft deleting a task really just means, and let's take a look into our project solution here. It really just means in our task setting the deleted at to be something. Because if it's something and not a null, that means it's been deleted and we can tell when it's been deleted. I believe that also part of this hidden wise is that we shouldn't be able to get other like get tasks if they've been soft deleted. So I don't remember if I've been like actually adding that in. So we'll see. Okay, so should soft delete task. Let's actually see where they hit it, because I think it's not just a normal update. I think this is actually a specific route we go to. So there's update. Creating new account. Oh wait. Okay, soft delete a task. That's the one. Okay, so let's put an only on here, and we'll remove this skip, and then there's one more. Okay, so you send a delete to base URL task ID. Okay, so it's a pretty standard I was gonna say CRUD, but that's not right. It's a pretty standard REST sort of delete route here, and then mark it as deleted. Okay, that's good to know. So let's go ahead and rerun our tests. We expect these to fail, and we expect only to run the delete tests. Okay, perfect. And we're getting a 404 when we got a 405. Oh, 405 I think is the method not allowed. Okay. So it's a different method. It's not allowed. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We're gonna handle that right now. So let's see, project solution, source, okay, routes, tasks. I want to delete task. We'll mod this too. Okay, so it's a pub async function. Delete. Let's actually just call this soft delete. Okay, and then if we head into router, so we have update. Okay, this is going to be a new one here. So this delete task, soft delete task. With not a semicolon, a comma. Okay, and then router, we'll do it above. Okay, so this is right here. Okay, so API, v1, tasks, and then the task ID. And that should be enough for that. And we're going to use a delete here. And then handler is soft delete task. Okay, excellent. Okay. Well, that should allow us to move on to the next thing. So it's not a 404 error anymore. Okay, so it's not okay, so we hit that. We expect it to not be null. So it's hitting that route, it's getting the 200 back, which is correct. But then it's actually reaching into the database and verifying, did we do our job? And the answer is no, we did not. So we actually have to do the correct thing now. So we want to take in an ID. I also noticed that we're going to have a test for we can't delete someone else's task, so we need the user too. So let's start with extension. We have our user extension, and that's going to be a model from user. We want our database connection, so that's state. Okay. What else do we need? We we need the path. So we need the task ID. That's a path. And that's an I32. And that should be enough for us. Okay, so we're going to return a result. Nothing, and then an app error. Okay, throw in a to-do to begin with. and away we go. So first off, we know we have the user, so we need to get the task that we're going to be updating and marking as deleted. So we know it's going to be a single task. So the task equals, we need the entity. So to use create database task as an entity as a task. Okay, so we're going to do tasks. We want to find by ID, and this will be the task ID. Once we have that, we want to filter by the user so we can't delete other users. So we'll use, this is tasks. Okay, we want you to be equal to sum with the user.id. Okay, so that's good there. Now, if I'm trying to mark something deleted at multiple times, I think that's fine. We'll just delete it again, I guess. So I just want one, pass a reference, the DB, we'll await, we'll map this error. Okay, so we have an error here. We'll do our ePrint line. And this is going to be error, deleting task. And then create an app error. All right, this should be an internal server error. And don't know, let's see. There was an error deleting the task. Okay, return that, question mark U. That should give us an option and a model. Okay, so if the task exists, then I want to convert it into an active task, do the thing, and then return it. So we're gonna do let's just shadow the task here. So this is gonna be a if let some task equals task. We're gonna do an into active model on this one. Otherwise, we're going to do an early return of an error, app error, probably not found. Okay, so status code not found, and we'll just do not found. Okay, so that we now have a task that's an active model. We want this to be mutable. We want to now, I guess, like create the now on this. So let now equals, this is going to be, what was it? Chrono UTC. Yeah, okay. So chrono UTC, that gives us a now. And then we turn this into, okay, so we update okay, so we're going to do task dot deleted at, it's going to equal to a set of a sum, and it's going to be now dot, and then I want, like, was it timestamp? It's not timestamp, it's not time zone, not with time zone, not to string. What was it? It was I forgot exactly what we did here. We could just go take a look at, was it naive UTC? Cannot find set. Let's pull that in. Oh, date time. Was it date time? I don't think it was time. Let's go take a look. So when we do an update task, we would set Oh, we just set them to be whatever we expect them to be, don't we? What was? I know we set this somewhere, and I forget exactly where we did it. We have a UTC now somewhere. We didn't do it in the get. Net get all. Delete is where we're doing it right now. And a create task. Oh, task complete map. No. That's converting it from one type to the string, which is not necessarily what we're looking for. Was it just an into? It might have just been simply an into. Let's try that. Ah, okay. Yeah, it was that. Okay, so task, deleted that. Then what do we do? So task dot delete at and um to I think we're good to go. Okay, so we save it. So task dot save. We pass in reference to the DB. We await. Okay, I needed to pull in the I needed Rust Analyzer to actually pull in what it was supposed to be doing. Okay, so then we can await. Then we can map this error. We have error, an ePrint line. So this is going to be an error saving after soft deleting. Deleting. Display the error, and then return a new app error. Okay, so this is going to be a status code. This is probably an internal server error. And there was an error deleting the task. Okay, question mark U, semicolon, because I don't actually care about getting that back. And then over here, we'll just do an okay and return that. All right. You need a semicolon here. You do indeed. Okay. So you're all happy. Let's run the test and see if they pass. Hey, okay. Those tests pass. Let's now come back into our tests and re-enable everything and make sure they all pass. Where was this? This was right here. So we'll remove our only, rerun these. Maybe? Is it gonna work? Waiting for the entire suite to pass is always the fun sort of like, okay, looks like it's working. Everything is green. We've got check marks everywhere, which means that we're good to go. I want to check this creating new account. I want to make sure it's not already just sort of magically there. So what is that? This is the skip right here. Let's just run all the tests with this and find out if we're gonna do a new video to set this up. Because I want to say that we've already done that previously in order to cause some of the other tests to pass. So another fun waiting time. and I guess it's half a minute. Hey, okay, everything is working. So with that, that means all of our tests are passing. Technically, the project is done. Now, I wrote into my sort of plan here, I have one more thing that we're going to be doing. And so we're going to do that in the next video. So thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye. Thank you, Sitsu, for that. Like my brain was totally blanking on what we had done and what we were going on. So I'm not even gonna have that as a video or mark it as one. So yeah, thank you for that. Also, that was a uh fun message we got. I probably didn't need to ban them right away during the video. It sort of like threw me off a little bit. Okay, so part of red green refactor is going to be the refactoring. Red green refactor? No, red green. Oh yeah, I guess it is red green refactor. Um, Part of test driven development is now we get to do the refactor part and know that if we did it correctly. So the refactor part I'm going to do for this video is move all of the, yeah, I don't want to do anything. I guess I could do stuff in database. I'm a little bit hesitant to, maybe I'll do them as queries. Yeah, I might just do queries here, and then we'll create queries for users and users and tasks. That way, I don't touch this one, because if you regenerate the stuff, you could lose stuff. You don't want to do that. Okay, so let's commit you. We have our next plan. All these are done. Okay, so this is soft deleting tasks. Okay, so yeah, we're going to pull out the queries for tasks, I believe. Maybe we should do the same thing for users, but I'm not exactly sure that that's. I think what we're going to do is I'm going to do this as just for the task to show it off, because this is the one where we're repeating a lot. In users, how much are we doing the same thing over and over again? So create is inserting. I mean, I guess we could do it for both and just have it be a longer video. That could work. That could work. All right. Yeah, let's do it for both. We'll just do it proper. We'll just do it proper. We'll move all the queries into their own folders, and I'll have that at the root level here. Okay, so with that, let's dive into it. Recording time. All right, welcome back. This is, I expect, going to be the last of the project videos. What we're going to be doing is refactoring our queries into their own folders, because something I noticed, just sort of like when going through here, there's a lot of repeated code, a lot of things that we're doing that are exactly the same. But not only that, like just here, and that's the extractor. Let's in create task, for example, there's just a lot of the not necessarily logic happening inside of the router. It's like it's two different things that are going on. So I like to have those queries in like a different place. Now that we have our test though, it's going to be safer for us to do this big change, because if we break it, we can just undo the commit and try again. And it'll also let us know if we broke it, or if maybe like some little part of it's not going to work. So that's the reason why I like to have test there before I do a big refactor like this. Okay, so I'm not going to put the queries into the database folder, mostly because all of these files are auto-generated, and I'm a little bit hesitant to update an auto-generated file, because if I ever need to run the CLI again, I don't know if it's going to delete my code, and I just don't want to worry about that. So in source, I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm just going to call this queries. Let's mod this. I forgot the mod inside of queries. Okay, so that should make you happy. It does. Okay. So, what do we need in here? Well, we're gonna have some probably generic things. We're gonna have task queries and then user queries. So let's do one for users. So users.rs. Let's actually rename this and be user queries. Mostly for just finding this is going to be easier in the editor, so I could just do Command P and just search for user queries. Okay, and then we'll have task queries, and we'll mod both of these. Okay, so that's good there. Let's go from top to bottom. So for tasks here, this is an extractor, but do we care about any gets or something in here? Not really. This is extracting stuff. It doesn't look like we even, we're not even using the states. We're not going to the database, so this is fine. Create task. This is creating a brand new task. So this one we can probably put into our into here. So now here we're setting. We can also have a new different type, or we can take in a specific type. This is a task. Validate create task. Validate create task. What do you return? Your type is a validate create task. I want to say that you return. Oh, you just return a validate create task, which is this thing here. So we could take that in and save it. So that could work for us. Okay, so in queries, we'll do task queries. All right, so pub. Let's see. This is going to be pub function. It's going to be a pub async function. I want to maybe like create task. We're going to take in the sort of like the task data. So the task data, which is, oh, I've got a kitty cat here. Say hello to Zilby, our kitty cat who wants a little bit of attention in the video. There you go. Okay, so he was trying to help. This was the validate. What was it called again? It was the validate create task. Okay, So validate create task. Ooh, I can't actually see it from here. I can't see it because it's going to need to be public here. Okay, so now here I can import you. Excellent. Okay. We're going to return now in a create task. We absolutely need to return the model back. So this is going to be a result. For this one, it's going to be the model, which is going to be the task model, and then an app error. And that way we can question mark this all the way throughout. Okay, so create task. What are we going to do with this? Well, if we go and take a look at create task here, we create a new task from this active model. So I can just probably copy you. So we create an active, okay, create the active model here. And then we save it. And then we create that response task. The response task, I think, actually should happen in the route itself. So I'm just going to cut all of this out and then head back to our task queries and put you in here. So we take in the task data. We actually can call this task to make it work here. Okay. And start pulling things in. Okay, so first of all, you can't find tasks. Well, we need to pull you in. So import you from database tasks. Okay. Mismatched exit. Okay, so we want an okay with the, now we want to turn this into just a model. So what is that going to be? Like task dot into model. There was a way to turn that in. You're super unhappy. Let's hold off on that just for a second. Let's put a to-do in here. Let's get rid of all of these other errors first. So import you. Okay. Can I find user value user in this scope? Right. So I also need the user in here. So user, that's going to be, I don't need to take ownership of it really. I can just do, what are you? You are a model. Specifically, you're a user's model. The problem is we now have two models that are two very different types. So we have tasks. I don't need self there. I want you to be a task model. And then let's do this, and we'll do users. Oh, it's still, okay, hold on. It's still model as task model. There we go. Users model as user model. Okay. Then you're going to be a task model. And you're going to be a user model. Okay. Next up, tasks. Failed to resolve that. Let's import you from create database task. That seems right. Cannot find the value of this DB. Okay, so we need the DB to be injected in here too. So that's the DB, and you're going to be a reference to a database connection. Okay, which means I don't actually need the reference there. No method name saved. Well, I just need to pull in the trait object, and then you'll be happy. Need to pull in status code. Need to pull in this trait. All right, no more errors in here. Now let's see if we can convert this into the right type. So we want okay. We have the task dot. So we have to owned. I want something to turn it into a model. Try into model. That's what it is. Try into model. Now you. So this is something that we need to do quite often, don't we? Now it's going to be different for each type, but this is going to be an active model for a task. So actually, I want to do that. Let's see, where is it? Well, this is task queries. Let's just do this down here. So we're going to have an internal function, and this is going to be convert active to model. This is going to take an active model. So an active task, we can take ownership of it. That's going to be fine. That's going to be an active model. Can I actually see that? Okay, I think that's going to be a tasks active model, and I'm going to return. Now we could do this as a result, and we're going to have the model. So that's what, task model. Or if it's an error, this will be an app error. Okay, so what are we going to do? We're going to take the active task and we're going to return. So I want active task. We're going to try into model. We're going to map the error. Oh, we weren't even mapping the error. I think we were doing just direct unwraps before. Now, do we get an error in here? Oh, we do have a DB error. Okay, excellent. So we can do a ePrint line. So we have an error converting task active model to model. And put the error in there, and then return an app error. This is definitely a status code with an internal server error. And this is like internal server error. I don't really know what to say here. Internal, or just put say in. That seems wrong. Okay, and then we return you. That should be happy. Okay. So then you, I want to return this same thing, just a model. So I want to return a convert to active model, pass in the active task, which is just that task. We're not going to try into active model, so we just do that. Okay, so this is creating a task. Let's go and throw this in here. So let's do let task equals create task. That's the wrong one. I want, what was this called? Under queries. Oh, so create task. We also have like another create task there. So I want queries create task. Okay, that's what I want. So I want queries. Are you not public? You're public. Create task. Why don't you find this? Let's see, what do I have here? So use create. Okay, so I have utilities. Oh no. Okay, that's the question mark there. So this is create queries. Okay, that seems to be fine. Create task. I want to question mark you. Cannot find function create task in module queries. Not found in queries. Okay, so here's the module queries. Because it's task queries. because it's task queries. Okay, I think that's what it is. I want you. So queries, task queries, and then we're going to use task queries create task. There we go. Okay. Expected 3 arguments. What's the first one here? So the first one we have is the task, which is the validate create task. That's our task. Taking ownership is fine because we're going to get another one back. User model. Okay, well we have the user here. That's can do a reference to user. And then finally, the last one is the database connection. So that's going to be a reference to DB. Okay. Now, what are you upset about? The question mark operator can only apply to values that implement try. I thought you return. We have to await first. So we await, and then we can question mark that. That now gives us a model, and then this model we then take stuff out of to put into the response. Okay, so this should still work. This should be happy. Let's run our tests again and make sure that I didn't break anything. The general idea should be the same for everything else, so I feel a lot better about like, okay, let's just do everything else for at least the users or at least tasks, and then we can run the tests again. And 30 seconds later, there we go. Okay. All the tests are still passing, so everything is working exactly the way we want to, and our create task is a lot simpler. We don't have all this in here. So I don't need, let's fix all these warnings. Get rid of all of you, get rid of you. This entire file, this entire route is now a lot easier to sort of follow along with. Okay, so what's next? Delete task. So we find this one a lot, don't we? We have a find by ID for tasks. So let's go into our task queries. Let's throw in a find by ID. So pub async function find task by ID. So obviously we want the DB. So let's do DB is a reference to a database connection. We want the ID, which is an I32. And I don't think I necessarily need anything else. We're going to return a result with now this is going to be the task model and an app error. All right, so find by ID. Well, we could just do this once over again. So we do need tasks. So what are you doing here? We don't need that. We're gonna grab database. Okay, so tasks. I don't need this self, but I do need entity as tasks. Okay. Oh, I do need self, don't I? Import tasks from database tasks. Oh yeah, that's the self here. Okay. Usually when I see that, it's a mistake, but I guess not in this case. Okay, so what are we doing? We are find by task by ID. Okay, so we're gonna find by ID. So we have tasks find by ID. We pass it in that ID. We sometimes need to filter, don't we? See about that. So in delete tasks, what do we want to filter by? This wants to filter by a user ID, and that's That is probably correct. We probably also want to take in the user ID specifically to filter by that. So we'll have user ID, and that is a I32 as well. We'll filter by, it's going to be tasks, column, user ID is equal to a sum user ID. I don't think that there's anything else we really care about this. Yeah, then we just get it. So we'll get you, pass in the database, we'll await. Okay, now we get it. The last time we do this map error, I realize I probably could just copy this. We'll just copy you. Now in this case, it's going to be slightly different, isn't it? So instead of error deleting task, this is going to be error getting task by ID. And then internal server error, this is, there was an error like getting the task. Okay, so we question mark you. I want to return this, so maybe I'll just do that. Mismatch types found, result, database task model. I want a task model, so that's that. With a new error. Found an enum result. Oh, it's an option still. Oh, it's still an option. Okay, so let task equals you. All right, what happens if there is no task here? So we could do a, I almost want to like map the error from this. But we want to convert this into we want to convert, if it's a sum, we're good, we return okay. Otherwise, we return none. I think that there is a way to do that on options. I want to convert this into a result. I forget some of these sometimes because I don't use them too often. But I want to see, okay, so map is doing a map of the okay, like the sum result, if something exists. I want to, okay, so okay or gives me a result. And okay or else allows me to create a new error here. So maybe this is what I want. Maybe we want okay or else. So if it's okay, we get the thing out, or else is now going to be this. I want probably here, we could do our ePrint line. This is could not find task by ID. That's it, really. And then we're going to do a new app error. Now this will be a not found. So an app error, status code, not found, not found. And we'll just do not found. Okay, so, and returning this is going to be fine, right? Because this still returns it returns a result now with the type if it's okay and the error if it's not, if it doesn't have something in it. Okay, so that's what we want. So now we can go back to our delete task. And okay, so we wanted this task here. So this task equals, this is also the not found. So we want to replace all of you with find task by ID. Okay, so we reference the DB. We want the task ID and then the user dot ID. And then we question mark you. Oh, we wait and then question mark you. And there we go. Okay, so now we have our model off of task. we do have to convert this into an active model, don't we? So let's do this as mute, and then we question mark you, and this becomes an into active model right there. Okay. All right, so we get our now. This is all logic as part of soft deleting. So this is fine. We set that. We save. Okay, so we have a bunch of times when we want to save an active model. Okay, so we could probably do that in task queries too. So I'm going to have a pub async function save active task. All right, so what are we going to take in? Well, we need to take in that DB. We need to take in a task, which is an active model. Which I can't see there, so let's try tasks active model like that. I think that's it. We're going to return a result. We should probably return the model. So this is going to be a task model. Yeah, none of these. This is, so I'm saving right now. So basically I'm going to replace this too. So do I want to, yeah, I probably wanted to return just an active model. So I'm going to convert as part of this too. We're going to turn a task model or an app error. Okay, so first off, the save part. Well, we're kind of doing that here, aren't we? So we want this new task.save error. Now I have this error creating a task. What I really want to do is we're going to say we have task, we save it, pass it in the database, we await, we map error. This is error saving task now. Error saving task. Okay, so save active task. That does its thing. I want to let task equals you. We found nothing. Oh yeah, we found nothing. So we have an active model, and I want to convert this to the other model. So I want to return an OK. Now this returns actually a result. So actually I don't need the OK. We're just going to call convert active model. We pass in the task, and I just want to return that. And that should be happy. So save active task, we can come back up to here and replace you. So this is now save active task, pass it the DB, pass it the new task, question mark, await, question mark you, and we're good to go. And we don't need to convert into active model anymore. We're good to go. So we just await. What are you returning? You're returning a task model. Oh, I don't need this. Let task equals that. All right, that returns everything that we expect to in here too. Okay, this is good to go. Let's see. Create. We were in delete task. Yeah, so we don't need this save. So we can now do a save active task. We pass it in a reference to DB. We pass in task, and we await and question mark you. And then we're good to go here because we don't actually care. Oh man, look at this. This is so much easier now. Okay, so that was delete. Get all tasks. Okay, so get all tasks. What are we doing here? So this, we do a find all. And for find all, we have to find that they're owned by us and that they're not deleted. Okay, well, that seems easy for us to do. And that also seems like a proper thing to do in our global user task queries. So we're going to put that in here. So pub async function find all tasks. Maybe I want to do get all tasks. All right, what do we need? Well, we need that database connection. We need the user ID. And I think that's it. I think those are the only two things we really need when we're getting all tasks. We could potentially put like a deleted, like, do we want the deleted and have that be a Boolean? I don't like if it's generic, that might be a good idea. We'll do deleted. We'll have this be a Boolean. Okay, so we're going to turn a result. This is going to have a vector of task models inside of it. Otherwise, it'll be an app error. All right, let's go find this. Let's go find this. So we did a task find. We filter by those two things. We get all of them. We await. We map the error. We turn it into a vector. We map this into a response task. Now okay, so here I just want this point right here. So copy you. Paste you in here. Okay, so task find. We filter by the user ID. We filter by deleted at is null. Well, we only want to do this if deleted is true, don't we? So we want to probably like start building this query into variables. So let's do our query equals, you're probably gonna have to be mutable. Okay, so we start with, we find the task, we filter by some that, we semicolon u, and then we're gonna have to test to see if deleted, so if you're true, then I want to add into the query. So now what happens here? Query then returns into the next thing. Okay, so I'm going to want to do a query equals query dot filter, really just this. Semicolon u, and then, okay, so we're done here. So that if statement is done. Then we want to continue on with this query. Do I have 2 dots? I don't need 2 dots. Okay, so query, we run all, we pass it the database, we await, we map the error. Okay, so we get this error getting all tasks. That seems fine so far. We then return an app error new, error getting all tasks. This is fine. This also is now expected a result vec model. So I think we're doing the right. I just don't need the question mark. Okay, so the trait bound database connection trait is not satisfied. What do you need? Do you need? Oh, it's already a reference. Okay, so you're happy now. So get all tasks. We're gonna replace you with, it's right here. So this is now gonna be get all tasks. No, not that one. This is gonna be query tasks. Task queries. Task queries, get all tasks, pass it a reference to the DB, pass it user.id, and deleted. I want that to be true. Does that make sense? Am I like making it really like confusing now? I want it to be if it's true, I want to get deleted. Otherwise, I don't want. Oh, that seems. I want this to be false. Don't get deleted, which means that this logic is wrong. Okay, uh, so like I really want this to be like get deleted here. So if not get deleted, then filter out by this. Otherwise, we don't put the filter in and we get the deleted. Okay, there we go. Okay, so then pull you. So we need to await and question mark you, but then we can do our into iterator. We then turn this into the response task. That's gonna be fine. Collect them and send them back. Okay, so excellent, and this is a lot smaller. Great. Get one task. Okay, so we have our find by ID, which I believe that we already have a find by ID here. So we can replace you. So that gives us you. We map the error. Okay, so this is going to be a task queries. Find task by ID. Pass it the database. We have the task ID and then the user.id. We await and question mark you. Okay, so that gives us the model. Response task. So this one, we don't need this anymore. We can just go straight to the model, can't we? So we're going to return, we're going to create this as let response task equals u. Okay, semicolon u. And then return this. Okay, excellent. Also, again, much simpler. The mod, these are just the types. So I think we're fine here. And then update task. Okay, so update task. We probably want, okay, so find by ID. So we know how to do this. Now we have this as an into active model. So this is actually going to be a lot simpler. So we're going to do our task queries, find task by ID. So there's the database. We have the task the task ID and the user.id. We await. We question mark you, and then we can do an into active model. Okay, so that gives us that. You can be mutable here too. Now we get this. We update the model based upon what we want to update on. We then, now this saves. And so I think we have a save, don't we? So we're going to replace you with the task queries. Save active task, pass it the database, pass it the active task. We await and question mark. And we're good to go. Okay, so that should do that. So that's mark completed. Mark uncompleted should be very similar. So we have the find by ID. This is grabbing both of you like that. Okay, task queries. Task queries. Find task by ID. There's the database. There's the task ID and then the user ID. We await question mark and then into active model. Also, we need to make you mutable. Once you're updated, we then save you. That's the task queries, save active task, the database, and the task. And there we go. Okay. So that's mark uncompleted. Update task. So again, same thing. We want to find by ID. And it's that. So it's literally this exact same thing over again. So here to here. Okay. All right, you need to be mutable. Now we're choosing to update you here. I'm okay with having these updates happen in the route here because these seem to be like the logic that we want to do. And then we save. This is going to be now the task queries, save active task, database, task, we await, question mark, and we're good to go. All right. And that should be all the tasks. Okay, so that's all the tasks. We have potentially users too for us to deal with. So let's go into our user queries, and we'll figure out what we need to do here. So, okay, create user. This is like figuring out what the new user is going to be. This is creating a new user from information. Okay, that's fine. So I think so far this is okay because it's all part of the logic of what we want to create. And then we have a save. I want this save to be outside of here. Okay. So we're going to do a pub async function save active user. We know we want the database, which is going to be a reference to a database connection. We also want an active user. So it's going to be users active model. We're going to turn a result with, so we want users. This is where we want that self, and then also users entity as, what is it? This is going to be users. Yes. Okay. What are you upset about? Missing type for function parameter. Yes. I want, this is going to be the user, like that. There we go. Okay, result. This is going to be, we're going to return a user model, which I don't have set up here. So I want users model as user model. Okay, so we're going to turn a user model and an app error. Okay, so save active user. That's actually going to be very similar to this task query. It's just the types are slightly different. I could potentially use a generic here, but I'm not going to because I'm not completely sure that's exactly what I want to do. So save active task. Yeah, so this is what I want to do. Okay, so we save, we do this, 9, okay. Failed to resolve users, import users from database users, okay. Do let task. Oh, I brought in entity. That entity was wrong. It was the other one. Okay, so task, import task. Oh, task is going to be this user. We want this to be user. Save. No method name for save. Do I need to pull in? Yes, the active model trait. Need to pull in status code. Okay, and then I need this convert active to model function too. Now, I'm not violating the rule of 3 yet. It's just 2. Probably in this project, in these videos, I'm not going to create new versions of this. I'll leave that as an exercise for the learner. So if you feel you want to take on the attempt to make this a more generic function, you can throw it into like maybe the mod here and or utilities, and then that could also work. Let's import. Wait, no, this is import task. I want it to be user. Convert actives model. Okay, so this is going to be users. And this is user model. Okay. Active task. I want you to be active user. We want to do, okay, so try into model. Okay, that's a trait. We pull that in. Okay, so you're happy. Okay, you're happy. I think I got arrow. It's error saving user. Okay, then we have this saving active users. That is where create user. Okay, so we have this save here. Now you're slightly different, don't we? So we have new user save, and then we have these other errors. Let's actually pull these in. And do this here. So, okay, so user save. I just want, so this is going to be user.save. I want to let user equals to this, to shadow that. We save you. We map the error. We handle any of these errors here. So let error message equals error to string. So we have that. If this error message contains this, then we want to create. Oh, this is all part of map error here. Okay, so that becomes user here. We don't need this save. And then we convert this active model to the active user. And you don't need to be double referenced. Okay, so save active user. That can now happen in here. And all of these error messages don't need to be handled. And we convert to active user, convert to model. So we now have, what is this? This is going to be user queries. Save active user, pass in the database, pass in the user, the new user. We await, and question mark. Okay, so that gives us our user. We create the default task for the user. So this is going to be, yes, I think this stays like this. Because that's not like just a generic like call to database. It's actually doing some logic. So I want to keep all the logic here if possible. Okay, we return you, that's fine. Now down here, is there anything that we want to deal with though? So we find all tasks. Now, this is gonna be interesting. So we want to find all tasks, and we want to find all the tasks, and we want to not care about if they're owned. So we don't want to filter by that. And we don't want to filter by deleted at either. So that's interesting. However, I am running out of time today, so I'm gonna have to put in a cut, and then we'll finish this right when I come back, which of course is gonna be in a several days real time. So uh, let's we'll just do that right now. Okay, and that's it for recording for today. I'm thinking, let's see, probably Monday, because today's Friday, right? Yeah. So I'll have the weekend to enjoy myself, go out and try to relax a little bit. Monday we'll come back and finish recording this. We're like close to being done with this one too, and then we'll see if we can do the other, whatever's next, which is all of this stuff. Okay, cool. So I don't really have anything else. So thank you everybody for hanging out with me today. I am going to head off to work. It's the in between the sprint stuff, so lots of meetings. I have some little but fallout from our shut off of the server yesterday too that I have to deal with. So that's always fun. And then maybe you get to have fun later today. We'll see. So with that, I'll put it into any mode. Thank you all for hanging out with me today, and I will see you all next time. Bye.